It's another beautiful winter day, and Hillary and I got things to do. The first thing we're going to do, we're not going to tell you till we're done doing it. All right, we're done. We'll show you what we did.
I did.
We castrated Red's piglets. Out of 8 piglets, 3 of them were males, so I've shown this in a video before how we do it, so I didn't feel the need to show it again. It's really not a pleasant process.
I think we put it off because we really don't like doing it.
Yeah. So what I do is Red goes into another pen, and then I sort through her piglets. I mark the ones that are female, and we gathered up the 3 males, take them into the workshop. Only took us 5 minutes.
I think that's the fastest we've ever gone.
5 minutes to castrate them, and they're back running around in here. They don't seem to feel it that much. I mean, they don't, that's not a good thing to say, but they don't squeal. You just make the little incision and pull the testicle out, and these ones squeal very little, and then they're back in running around. One of the 2 bad days here on the farm. Hey, Mom. Mom's on guard. I won't go in the pen for a while after I do this. They're all just hanging out. Sorry guys, I promise no more bad days till the end. You may wonder why castrate the males. Well, we castrate the males because of the risk of boar taint. And what boar taint is it's a horrible flavor in the meat that's caused by hormones in the males. So if you castrate them, it removes the risk of boar taint. Boar taint isn't the pervasive thing that some people would think that it is. We sent a male pig to the butcher last winter that still had 1 testicle, and he was fine. But every time you leave the testicles in, you run the risk of boar taint. And I've read it's fairly small. It's like a 15% chance that you run. So to be safe, we castrate the males. Brownie's doing just the same, very pregnant, eating. Right, Brownie? Yeah. We'll keep watch. You know, it occurs to me that castrating piglets gives a new meaning to the name Just a Few Acres. Hey, little one. There's something about cows drinking that I absolutely love, the way their nose scrunches when they take gulps. No parts for this little girl yet, and I'm getting kind of frustrated. The Postal Service has been slow. They've been sitting in Rochester, not too far away, for 2 days. I'm itching to get this thing done. You know one's coming, don't you? What do mermaids wash their fins with? Give up? Tide! How could it be anything else? Tide? Mermaids? That's a classic. It's got to be a classic. It's worthy of a Hall of Fame nomination, I think. No. Let's go see the cattle. Everybody's just hanging out today. Fields are snowy. Hey guys. Daddy, you always have complaints. You got plenty of hay in there. How come you never look happy? And Titus the bull's kind of bored these days. There aren't any females left to breed, unfortunately. Yeah. Actually, scratch that. I forgot. Prudence there that he's on the hip of had her calf late, so looks like she might be coming into heat. Titus is going to be your best friend for a while. 2105, you're filling out nice. You're growing. You always came to see me in the pasture. Nice straight back you got. Mom, I want a drink. Let's go in the barn and see what they're up to in here. Can I come through, Coco? All right, lady. Where'd the little one go? I'm looking for Prudence's calf, 2109. I saw him earlier. I wanted to show him to y'all. Where'd you go? There she is. There's pretty red calf. Still pretty skittish. And here's Prudence's calf right here. Hey, little one. What are you doing? Oh, they're going to scoot back out. Here they go. Oh, ladies, your ice is frozen up. There we go. Right? Right. You know, I picked up beef from the butcher a couple days ago, and I haven't even looked at it. Oh, let's see here. We brought 2 steers. They both pressed about $4.25 each, and we got 20 boxes of beef back. The bellwether for me on beef is the porterhouse and the rib steaks, particularly the ribs or the ribeye steaks. I look for marbling in them, and that tells me how the animal was. These are 2 porterhouse steaks from those steers, and they have a good amount of marbling in them, if you can see that well enough with the camera. Now, the kind of marbling you look for is not big strips of fat running through the meat, but rather, I don't know what you call it, but these small flecks of fat that you see within the muscle. And that's what makes beef moist and tender, is when you've got that fat embedded in there that melts away while you're cooking it. The rib steaks are in here. I saw some, I thought. Where'd they go? Here they are. Rib steaks, I'd have to say, above any other cut, is the real bellwether for me, because you want a rib steak to be the most marbled, really, that you'll get. And chuck roast, too, you can tell. But chucks are cut right ahead of where the ribs are. Now, this rib steak is, in my opinion, about as good as it gets with grass-fed. You've got a lot of fat coming in here, and you got a lot of fat fleck. So different from the heifers that we sent. And they're all that way. In fact, here's this one. Look at this guy. Ah. I don't know. I might have to keep that one and eat it for myself. These are 1.5-inch thick steaks. This one's probably 1.5 pounds. You know, the steaks we were getting off the heifers were a little less than a pound. Much different size. I'm happy with this beef. There was some healthy conversation in the comments section of the last video I did, where I mentioned that we were going to corn finish 4 heifers that we've got up in the barn, and it's a tough argument. It seems like everybody's got a strong opinion about it. I found that our beef is flavorful without being gamey when it's just grass-fed, and I've always believed that grass-fed depends entirely on the quality of the pasture you're feeding. So if you're feeding a lot of legume and a lot of good grass, you don't get gamey beef. If you're feeding them, you know, goldenrod and burdock and all the crap that grows that, you know, if you just took a field and started grazing cows in it, then you get that kind of off taste, because the cattle are what they eat. Our beef doesn't come out to be gamey in my experience. It comes out to have a real good beef flavor. It's just with grass-fed, it's really tough to get that fat content up to the point where you can throw the heat at it and have it stay moist and tender. You have to just be careful cooking it, as I've mentioned in other videos. So grass-fed, grain-fed, it's a matter of opinion, and I respect both sides. That's why we're going to we're going to offer at market starting this spring, both grain-finished and grass-finished, and let the customer decide. I think it's a good thing to give a choice. Cattle are so peaceful. I crack walnuts about once a week now and collect them all up, and then I eat, a couple handfuls every day. It's good for you. And cracking walnuts is always good therapy. A little quiet time. Sometimes it's a struggle freeing these walnuts of their meat. Isn't it funny in life how the things that require the most work are also the most rewarding? I like that. You're going to work for the good things. Uh-oh. That happens sometimes. Speaking of beef, here's my 5-second soundbite on raising beef. Don't do it if you want to make money. At least in the first 8 years you farm. Having just a beef farm starting out, I think, is a really poor idea at our size. 30, 50, 70, 100 head. Really tough to make a living. You're going to have to invest a ton of money into it. You're not going to see that money come back for quite a while. We started out focusing on chickens and turkeys because the payback on them is quick. Chickens, 3 months, broiler chicken, 2 months to grow, 1 month to sell. Pork, 7 months, 6 months to grow, 1 month to sell, maybe a little longer. You get your profit back, you can reinvest profit into the farm. We did that for years and years, investing pork and poultry profits into the beef production. And we finally got everything built up. We finally paid for everything. We've got all of the cattle are producing a lot of calves now. We're sending a lot of beef to market. And so we're kind of in the cake zone now. Next year, a lot of what we're sending, for beef will be kind of pure profit because we don't have a lot of overhead anymore for beef. We don't have loans to pay off or anything like that. That means that we can cut down on our broiler, our turkey, our egg layer, and our pork production because beef's going to be pulling its weight. That means for us, and the reason that we are seeking to cut down on the production of those other types of animals, is that Hillary and I want to have more time to invest in being more self-sufficient as a farm. Things like, we have a huge garden that we have not had the time to plant as we would like in the last 6 or 8 years. It sits out there mostly overgrown. It's got great fencing. It's got great soil. I spent a lot of years building up the soil. We want to become more food self-sufficient, not only meat but vegetables. We'd like to take care of the things, the hobbies that we used to enjoy more. Like, I was always into keeping nice perennial beds around the house, and I haven't had the time to do that. They've overgrown. We'd like to invest more time in that. Heck, the house needs upkeep that we've deferred because we've been so busy on the farm. The addition needs a new roof. That's another story. And I've got all kinds of fix-it jobs to do, so it'll be nice to have a little bit of time free up. Hey Ezra, you want some dinner? Okay. I know. We're gonna get you something. Yes, here's some kibbles. Here's a kitty. These heifers are yelling at me for their treats. Alrighty, ladies. Here you go. Yep, it's that time. Afternoon chores.
I normally do
What?
I normally do the pig's water and the chicken's water, so do you want me to participate in the thing?
Sure, Henry. He's being Henry. Alright.
Alright, ladies. gentlemen.
Oh my God.
I feed him every day. So he gets used to
What's his name, Dre?
Sesame. Because he's a pretty small rooster.
He has really cool tail feathers. He's handsome.
Yeah. Now we wait.
We put a submersible tank heater in this 55-gallon drum because it's below freezing. I just ran an extension cord back to the brooder house. Keeps the water thawed.
Yep.
Ezra, you already ate. You were hollering at me, Ezra. You want some attention, huh? Sometimes you don't want any attention. Sometimes you want a lot of attention. All right, you piggers. Brownie, where did you put your dish? You split it under the piglet shelter. Here you go. Red, how are your little roaches doing? They all look good to me. I think they're all right. Little monsters. Here's your dinner, Brownie. All right, Red. Some for you, and some for your piglets. Here you go, John boy. Dinner time, bud. Dinner time. Yeah. Howdy, piggers. It's getting dark out here already. Oh my God. You're a chunky guy. You're a steer. Yes, you are. Gotta drain the hose. It is that time of year. Well, afternoon chores are done. It's getting pretty dark out here, so I'm going to have to say good night. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. We're tunneling for the good stuff.